Today, we're diving into something that affects every single one of us, sleep. And we're going to uncover some pretty shocking truths about what it's really doing to your health. We're going to kick things off by looking at what actually happens when you just don't get enough.
All right, so let's really tackle this question. We live in this hustle culture where skipping sleep is almost like a badge of honor. But what does the science actually say? Well, the answer from medical research is, honestly, it's pretty direct and it's pretty severe. A lot of us think we can get by on just a few hours, but the data tells a completely different and, frankly, a much scarier story.
And here it is, the stark reality. Medical studies are crystal clear on this. If you're consistently sleeping less than 6 hours a night, you are dramatically jacking up your risk for these huge, life-changing conditions. And we're not talking about a tiny little connection here. No, this is a powerful, well-established link between not getting enough sleep and some really serious diseases.
Okay, so what is actually going on inside your body when it's running on fumes? Why does just a lack of rest lead to such massive health problems? Let's break it down system by system.
I love this analogy. Think about it. Your immune system is like an army. All day long, its soldiers are out on the front lines, fighting off germs and viruses. Sleep? That's when they pull back to the barracks to rest, rearm, and repair. So if you skip that crucial downtime, your body's defenses get weak, and you're just leaving yourself wide open to getting sick.
And at the same time, your brain is paying a massive price. See, when you sleep, your brain is literally cleaning itself out, getting rid of all these toxic byproducts that build up while you're awake. If you don't get enough rest, that junk just accumulates. And that leads to your brain aging faster, that awful brain fog feeling we all know and hate, and, down the line, some pretty significant issues with memory and focus.
This quote just illustrates the strain on your heart so perfectly. Your heart is this absolutely loyal guard that is always on duty for you. But when you sleep, it gets a little break. Its workload drops, your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure goes down. So when you don't sleep enough, you're basically forcing that loyal guard to stay in a state of high alert 24/7. And that leads to higher blood pressure and some serious long-term strain on your whole cardiovascular system.
All right, so let's look at how this problem can really start to spiral. For a lot of people, poor sleep isn't just a standalone issue. It can create this incredibly dangerous feedback loop, especially when you throw chronic pain into the mix.
This right here is a direct quote from a patient, and it just captures such a common experience. People who deal with things like arthritis often say their joint pain feels way worse when they can't get a proper night's sleep. The two problems just feed off each other.
And this slide lays out that vicious cycle perfectly. It's a two-step trap. Step 1, your physical pain makes it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep. Then step 2, that lack of restorative sleep actually makes your brain more sensitive to pain and cranks up inflammation in your body. So the original pain feels even worse. It's this awful loop that can be so tough to break out of.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time talking about the pretty serious risks of bad sleep. So now for the big question, what should we actually be aiming for each night? What does that golden sleep really look like?
Well, it really comes down to two things. First up is quantity. For most adults, that sweet spot is somewhere between 7 and 9 hours. But, and this is a big but, what's even more important than the number on the clock is the quality of that sleep. I mean, you can be in bed for 8 hours straight and still wake up feeling like you've been hit by a truck if the quality just isn't there.
So how do you know if you're actually getting that golden sleep? Well, here are 5 key signs you can look for. 1, you fall asleep pretty easily, within about 30 minutes. 2, you pretty much stay asleep, maybe waking up once at most. 3, you're not being bothered by constant dreams or nightmares. 4, you're breathing easily, no loud snoring. And, the final test? You wake up feeling genuinely refreshed and ready to go, not reaching for the snooze button 5 times.
All right, so how do we get there? How do we achieve this high-quality golden sleep? The good news is there are a ton of practical, science-backed steps we can all take to get a better night's rest.
Having a consistent evening routine is probably your most powerful weapon. And here's why. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every single day, yep, even on the weekends, it sets your body's internal clock. It's called your circadian rhythm. To help your body wind down naturally, you gotta avoid stimulants like caffeine, big heavy meals, or super intense workouts too close to bedtime. And the research points to that sweet spot for falling asleep being somewhere between 10 and 11 p.m.
Okay, but what about naps? Can they help? Absolutely. A short, strategic nap can be amazing for boosting your energy and focus. But the key here is to keep it short. Think 15 to 20 minutes, that's perfect. And make sure you take it before 3 p.m. If you nap for too long or too late in the day, you're just going to mess with your ability to fall asleep that night.
And if pain is the real reason you're struggling to sleep, some simple tweaks to your bedroom and your pre-sleep routine can make a huge difference. A supportive, medium-firm mattress and a pillow that keeps your neck and spine aligned? Absolutely crucial. And for those sore muscles or joints, try applying a heat pack or doing some really gentle stretching before bed. It can really ease that discomfort and help you just relax into sleep.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. After seeing just how deeply sleep impacts every single system in your body, it's pretty clear that it isn't just passive downtime, right? It is an active, vital investment in your health for years to come. So really the question isn't if you should invest in your sleep, but how? What's the one change, big or small, that you're going to make tonight to invest in yourself?
Health is the most precious gift. If this video helped you or someone you love, please like, subscribe, and share so more families can stay safe and healthy.